What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 10th day of May today. We have about 1 day and 20 hours left in this week here. We're up about 10%. Nice to see. Had a good week so far. Looking like we are ready to break out of this consolidation phase here that we've been in since about December. We're on the brink of the break, you guys. We really are. And I think when it breaks out, it's going to be fantastic. Let's take a little walk down memory lane here, okay? Anytime XRP is on a breakout move and it's moving higher, it broke out here from this relative consolidation phase. You notice the pace that it moves up. It moves up pretty damn fast, right? I mean, we're talking about a month and a half. You're up how much percent from a low to a high? You're up about 10x in a month and a half. Pretty damn fast. Here you break out of this consolidation phase. Even this little breakout here, that little move, pretty damn fast over 3 weeks. Pretty fast. Whenever you move out, you break out here fast, supersonic speeds, right? Even in the bear market, when you're breaking out, you only know one pace. They're very fast paces, okay? My expectation would be that when you break out of here, and you will break out bullishly, you are going to move up. It's going to happen. It's not going to be at this pace. It's going to be at this pace, right? You're going to move up with a purpose is what you're going to do. You're going to get a whole porpoise on here. You're going to move up with that porpoise, and you're going to go skydiving or sky climbing. I don't know. It's a sky climbing porpoise. $2.36 right now. This is the current price. We look at the weekly RSI. You can see that you are bouncing off the 45, the same area that you bounced from back in October when you had this magnificent rally here. Make no mistake, you're seeing these same readings, and likely you will get similar results. You will return to the overbought zone. You will see growth of a similar magnitude, and perhaps even something that is larger than this. C-Zar, you're crazy. You're absolutely nuts, man. This thing consolidated for 2 cycles, and this was the move we got. How could we see a stronger move than that? I'm glad you asked. Because we have been consolidating for 2 cycles. XRP throughout these 2 cycles has been through the ringer. It was sued by the SEC, right? Really attacked by regulators in the United States, right? Straight demonized, man. It went through some very, very hard things. It got delisted from Coinbase and some other exchanges too, all because of that. It had to come back. You have to rebrand yourself after that kind of a beating, man. And it maybe not even rebrand yourself, but you have to build a bullish case. You have to build a reason for investors to invest in you, all while being attacked by one of the most notorious bullies in the industry, the SEC. It's not an easy thing to do. Not only that, but while this is going on, you're getting lower highs cycle after cycle. You're being boring. You're at the same price for years, right? You're giving people all the reasons to disbelieve in you, okay? You're finally sitting on top of the mountain now, right? Here you are. And you did this pump, even with all that stuff, and that's impressive, right? But here you are. Now there's no SEC lawsuit. In fact, they dropped their what was it? It starts with an A. What's the word? Where they try to they try to reverse the verdict. Why can't I remember it? Why can't I remember the word? What is the word? Hold on, let me think here. You guys probably know what it is. You're like, it's this word. What is the word? Well, they tried to appeal it. That's what it was. The SEC tried to appeal their case. They dropped the appeal. The XRP is now in a strategic stockpile of cryptos, right? It's one of the main ones there. And Garlinghouse and Trump are buddy, at least a little bit, right, to some degree. And beyond all those things, beyond all these bullish things, this bullish narrative that XRP has just never had before that it has now, right? It never had before, but it has now. You're also on the brink of seeing new all-time highs. So as fantastic as this pump was, my expectation is this pump will be of a similar magnitude, but larger, because you're literally on top of the world right now, man. You're literally on top of the world, and you have every reason to shine. From the low point here, if you were to perform at the exact same, if this is a bull flag, and I think it is, if you were to perform the exact same length, that puts you at about $9.51. I don't think you're stopping there. We've done the math too many times comparing this thing to Bitcoin to accept a $9 price or a less than $10 price. The reality of the matter is, guys, we're going to see a price that's at least at $10, if not likely above there. From a high to a low, all the way back in 2018 to the low that we had in 2020, the minimum target here on the fibs is $8.37, and I have a hard time accepting that. Why? Because of everything that we just said. This whole long conversation that I just had over the last 2 minutes there, all of those reasons combined, I have a hard time seeing you stop at your minimum target. I have a really hard time seeing you stop there, right? I also have a hard time seeing you have the same move that you had last time. I think it's going to be bigger. So if you're not stopping here and you're not stopping here, where's the next area to stop at? Maybe it's this area. The fun fact about the 1414, a little fun fact for you here, is that with the 1414, you rarely stop right at it. Oftentimes, you actually go a little bit above it. A little bit above it. Oftentimes, not always. There are times, weird times, unconventional times. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes you find resistance in between these lines instead of right at either of these lines, but that's a less likely outcome. I would expect that not only do you break above $10, but you see a price that's above $13.56. That's my expectation. If not, you're going to nestle up right up against it, and you might find resistance right there, but something in this area between, I would say, something above $10 and something below $15 is what I'm anticipating over the coming weeks, over the coming months. XRP, you're looking glorious. You got a lot of work to do, okay? And it's probably not going to take you a lot of time. If history has taught us anything, it's that XRP moves with a purpose whenever it wants to. And you're at the same area now in the RSI that you were before when you saw this magnificent approach to the upside. In fact, let's take a look at this real quick. Let's take a look at this RSI. You see here, I'm going to delete everything. I got to put it back on there. Let's delete it all. Here we go, right here. Someone asked me, they're like, what's that paperclip thing that you click on? I'm like, I don't mean to click on it. That's me. I don't know what this does actually. I click on it whenever I'm trying to click on the trash can sometimes. It's just an accident. I don't know what it does. You see here, this was the area that we bounced from whenever we made this move. Let's go back to the last bull cycle. Well, we bounced from the same area before and we made a move up here too. We even bounced, it was kind of higher to be fair, but we bounced there. Even in the bear market, we bounced off this same area and went up. We had a pretty stupendous run. Here, a little bit lower in all fairness, but this area has provided support before. Going back in time, look at this. We found support right here, and then we had a glorious run as well. This 45 area for the weekly RSI seems to be significant, and significant it is this time even. It's going to continue to run. So that's the long-term scope. That's what I'm expecting over the coming, probably by the end of June, if not early July. I would expect that XRP is well above $10, if not even above 15 or 1350, something like that, if not right around that area. Looking at the looking at the daily perspective here, we have, I don't know, man. It kind of looks like a breakout to me. It kind of does. I don't know if we've broken out or we're just getting set up for the breakout, but I mean, it looks like it to me. Let's see what we got here. Let's try to find a line of best fit. I feel like that line of best fit was broken a while ago. We back tested it for support. It looks like you're breaking out, man. This is just the beginning of this move. It really does. I think that this, right, you broke out here. You're configuring, are we actually going to break out? Are we actually going to make the move? And you got your answer. Yes. Yes is the answer. So yes, you are. Here we are on the daily perspective at the overbought zone. It's pretty common to reject this area, right? You've rejected it once before, twice before. You've rejected it, right? Found support on it even. It's a pretty significant area. It's possible you could reject it now. It is the weekend. Let's see what the 4 hour and the 1 hour looks like, right? Before I continue with this next part, are we going to go higher? Are we going to go lower? I think that'll be more clear if we look at the shorter term time frame. So looking at the 1 hour time frame here, that 1 hour looks bullish as hell, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This thing is telling me that if you're not in it, you're going to miss it, man. It's looking pretty damn good. We got higher lows throughout here, higher highs. It's possible you could go lower. I'm not saying that you can't. You're at the 60 now. If you reject this, I'll tell you what, if by the time most of you guys watch this, if we're lower and this RSI is approaching the 50 or something like that, we're rejecting the 60 prior area that we found support on before, an area of resistance time and time again here. Maybe we do return to the 40. Maybe today is a little bit of a bearish day. And that's okay if it is. It's okay if it is. It's really not that big of a deal. But looking at this here, I have a hard time saying that. I mean, you got higher highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price. You look like you corrected enough. It looks like you want to run more, if I'm being honest. But let's just see real quick. Let's look at this relative low here to this relative high here. I guess looking at this fib, it'd be pretty unconventional to find a low here. I think that you would go to the 382, and that's where your prior support was. So maybe you do see this come down a little bit, and that's fine. Bounce off the 40, whatever. So $2.30 might be the outcome over like the course of today. Maybe you do. And because it's the weekend, I expect Bitcoin maybe to chill and pull back a little bit, or the rest of the markets to chill and pull back. We'll see. It could be a green weekend. It really could be a bullish weekend. So don't count on this pullback. But if we were to pull back 230 or around there, we could go a little bit below 230. It's fine. Even a little bit below 229, and it's fine. But somewhere in that area, we'd find support. It's very common with the 382 to wick a little bit below it. So if we wick below it, we find support right at those lows. Don't worry about it. That's actually perfectly normal. Looking at the let me look at the 15-minute actually on that note too, just to get this. I don't know. The 15-minute looks bullish too, guys. I don't know if we're gonna go down. You'll know by the time most of you watch this. I mean, here it is. This is the 3rd hour of the 10th, right? You can see the timing down here, right? The daily. I'm on the 1 hour time frame. It's the 3rd hour. So if we are, if we end up going back below like $2.35, likely we will see $2.30 and below. Probably a little bit below there, right? Not too much below, but probably a little bit below. At the most, 220, right? But probably not. Like genuinely, I don't think that we go below 230 or too much below 230. But if we are still above 235 by the time you watch this, or even above 240, then likely this is the low and we will continue to run. So I think the coming hours will be indicative of that. That's for sure, because we're at a point right now on the 1 hour. It really is this kind of time of the essence thing right now where you would find resistance or you won't find resistance. So either you will or you won't. And if you don't, higher today will be higher. If you do, a little pause over the weekend. That's fine. That's actually pretty normal. Don't worry about it, right? 4 hour time frame here. If we're looking at this, the 4 hour RSI. So if I'm getting any inclination off the 1 hour, it'd be that you could move lower. But with that, with the 15-minute and the 1 hour, I got to be honest, I'm kind of bullish. I think that you will move up. It's not enough to convince me that you're moving down. I think that you will move up, if I'm being honest. I want to look at something with some volume. Not enough to go off of there. I don't know. We'll see. But I do think that you move up. Let's see. 4 hour time frame here. Little bearish divergence to top it off. Here's the deal, though. This bearish divergence started right here. Right there. Right on that 4 hour candle there. Right there. Boom. Right there. That's where the first peak is. Right here on this 4 hour close. Okay. You closed up higher, had your bearish divergence, and you moved down. You actually tipped that exact point where you found your peak before, where the divergence formed originally. You found support right there, and you went just below it. You found support right at prior resistance. You guys, I literally couldn't make this up any better than it is. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see if you want to avoid going lower, if you want to find support and go higher immediately. This is exactly what you want to see. The only problem for me is it's the weekend, but not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Looking at the 1 hour, looking at the 4 hour, I have a hard time being bearish here. But the 4 hour was overbought. That means we have to go down. No. That's not how it works. No, not at all. I mean, sometimes. But if we look at this here, let's just see. Let's go back. I don't know. Yeah, moments like this, right, where you're in the overbought zone. You come out of it, even you come back in. You see these readings. What about even this, where you're coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out, something like this back here? What were you doing back in this kind of time frame? If we keep going, you're moving up steadily. At the most, you consolidated sideways, but you're moving up pretty damn steady, right? Finding support at prior resistance, stuff like that. If you're doing this here right now, if you're finding support just below the overbought zone and moving up immediately, this is actually some of the most bullish kind of circumstances and environments you can be in. Getting in and getting out, yeah, that happens sometimes, but it's moments like this that really allow you to drive higher and in an immediate kind of sense. So depending on how this looks over the coming hours, I would expect that we are moving up higher rather immediately. So that's good. That's good to know. If we're looking at this here, so that's my assumption. I'm going to say that XRP is moving up this weekend. If not, maybe a little bit of downside. We've gone over that too, and that's fine. But the expectation, yeah, man, I think by the end of this weekend, by the end of this week, you'll be at 255 to 270. Right there, your golden ratio. I think you're moving up, man, right now. So good job, XRP. That's my expectation for you. We've gone over the long-term stuff. We've gone over the short-term stuff. If I'm wrong about the short-term stuff and we don't make a move up here over the coming days, perhaps what we do is we consolidate still a little bit between here and like $2.30. And then next week, whenever the week actually opens up and it's Monday, Tuesday, right, that time we'll move up. But you never know, man. You never know. We could have a very bullish course of events this weekend. You know, Donald Trump has a couple of times made some big announcements on Sundays, and those can drive the prices up or down. So just be aware. Weekends aren't always boring, and I don't think you're getting. I think you're in good shape, XRP, to not have a boring weekend this weekend. So we'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Even if it is a boring weekend, even if you consolidate, next week you're going to get there, and then the following week you're going to get there, and you're inevitably going to go higher, right? So $10 or bust by the end of June, if not by early July. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.